Oh, Lord. The highways once in a while. Window Rock. Well, good morning. We are on I-10 eastbound. Last mile or so of Arizona. I'm sorry, not I-10, I-40. Hawaii Road I-10. So last night we stayed at the Pilot there in Quartz Lake on I-17, exit 262.
Speedboat ahead.
About 3 miles ago. finally got our last piece, yesterday morning. But we really didn't get on the road till after 10 o'clock. Well, about 10 o'clock-ish. So, it wasn't exactly wasn't as productive a day as I would like to have had, but when somebody doesn't do the paperwork and I'm left waiting, so we're basically a day behind for the most part. We did about 350 miles yesterday from Rialto, California to Quartz Lake here in Arizona on I-17. So we came over to Phoenix, then around the west side, north side of Phoenix on the 303 loop. Got on I-17, took that up. And then this morning, of course, we got started about 4:30 this morning. Got up to Flagstaff, got on to I-40, just been following west. I tried stopping at Winslow, but it was so crowded at the pilot there at Winslow that it was like
New Mexico.
I mean, it was bad. I mean, every single pump was filled. Nobody was up at the yellow line. Everybody was at the pumps. Nobody, and I find it hard to believe, that everybody was filling at the same time. No, but whatever, So it was very tight. People parking where they shouldn't be parking. People doing some stupid stuff in the parking lot. People not waiting their turn or going the wrong direction. From what's normal and expected there. I mean, you had this Swift, this night guy, i.e. Swift, at the entrance where there's some parking when you go in, you go into the entrance. There's a little bit of parking on the left-hand side. This guy was parked in front of those trucks parked in the parking spots. He's out of his truck, blocking those other guys in, blocking traffic going in and out smoothly, and he's sitting there doing push-ups like a moron. I mean, first of all, that's not a parking spot. Parking directly in front of guys in a parking spot. You're just gonna stop there because you're that selfish and lazy? Well, the obvious answer is yes. But it's not like you were just checking your ELD for messages or you're doing something important. You were out of your truck, on the ground, in the truck stop, on the asphalt, in the way, doing push-ups. You don't need to be doing that. That's just rude, inconsiderate, and stupid. then you had, had at least 3 guys doing the ELD creep, just 2 miles an hour, so they don't activate their precious minutes on their clock for the day. Come on, grow up, act like a man. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there ain't gonna kill you. The 25 seconds you saved did nobody any favors. Alright, so we are now in New Mexico. So it is now 9:32, because we are now in Mountain Time. Stop up here in about 35 minutes up here in Jamestown at the Pilot Flying J there at Refinery, which it's called Refinery because there's a refinery right there, exit 39. Basically just about half tanks, slightly under half tanks, so I think we're fine to get into go a little further down the road before I top up the fuel. We'll probably stop right there at the on Avalon Road to top up our fuel. Yeah, we'll top up our fuel there. Then we'll make our delivery in Albuquerque. And instead of coming back out I-40 and then cutting north on 491 to get up to Farmington, we're going to go on I-25 and take the 550 up that way. That's going to be a little bit shorter, a little bit quicker. So I think we'll do that. We got a way station up here in Gallup. Get to that, that's no big deal. Lordy. Ready. Get back into a little more greenery, not so barren and dry brown. And I can take the exposed rocks on the mountains here hills, mountains, whatever you want to call them, mesas, buttes, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I can tolerate the exposed rock, but down here where, you know, where the grass is, where the flat area is, you know, there's enough trees, enough scrub, you know, a little shrubbery and whatnot, and it's green. You know, I like that. You know, that's a lot more enjoyable to look at. Let's go base station. 540. Eastbound at. Not a whole lot of places to park between Albuquerque, along I-25 and US 550. There's a couple. We have one place there in Cuba, or Cuba, however they want to pronounce it. But there's only like 2 parking spots there. You know, it's like real tight, real small. So in a pinch it'll do, but that's not exactly where I want to stop at. Up there in Dulce, I'm thinking of Dulce. There's a truck stop there with about room for about 50 trucks approximately, something like that. All right, the truck stop way station is open here. We do not have a bypass, you know, signal device, you know, a pre-pass or drive-wise. We get to go in. All right. Let the old Jake brake do the work. Slowing us down. Downshift as we go. That'll bring our speed down where it needs to be.
Station ahead.
Got her. They're checking when it says credential check here in New Mexico. It's the weight and mile you know, permit. You know. Morning, ma'am. Got in the back, sorry. Sorry, I was messing with it last night. Forgot about it. Minnesota General Truck Registration. Thank you, ma'am. Good day. Yeah, I was messing with my permit book last night and forgot to put it back up front where it belongs. But we're good to go. Like I said, our unlike a couple of one of the other company I've worked with, that I worked at last year, they just didn't get an annual permit for the weight and mile, here in New Mexico. I mean, kind of stupid because, two trips from west to east or east to west, if you're on I-40 or I-10, 2 trips cost more than the annual permit. If my memory is correct, I believe that's correct. Because the last time I had to buy a weight and permit trip, a single trip, I came on US 54 out of Texas, going southwest, and that was like $68 for a single permit, a single trip, to get down to Santa Rosa and then out here towards Arizona, heading to California. And the time before that, it was like $40. It was ridiculous. I tell you. But at least this company has the common sense. Every time you get an annual permit for all the states, you get it. I think this truck right now has 12, 13 annual permits, something like that. We got our Connecticut, mileage, annual mileage, tax thing. We got an annual for California, annual for Florida, Minnesota, Iowa, Ohio, several, Utah, Nevada, Idaho, South Dakota, this truck has like 13 or 14, something like that, annual permits. It just makes things so much easier when you can cover 90% of all your loads, and it costs you a hell of a lot less. I mean, oh well, we just do what we can. Alright, well, last year, when I was at Tucker, truck broke down there at the scale. I limped it up here to the Loves, parked it, was here for like 2 or 3 days. Had to come down, walk down here to the to this microtel. Stayed there for a couple. I think it was that next Monday. I think it was Monday or so. Walked back to the truck, had a tow truck come get me. Towed us all the way to Albuquerque. Then I was in a hotel room for 3-4 days in Albuquerque. Overall, Tucker's a pretty decent company, but my God, I have never spent so much time in a hotel than I did at that company. I mean, growing too fast doesn't do you any good when you buy crap trucks that break down all the time. I mean, the truck I was driving, a T680, Kenworth, it used to be a truck that was owned by Melton Truck Lines. I mean, I was broken down 40% of the time. I collected so much breakdown pay, it was ridiculous. I broke down, there in Fort Lauderdale. Was there for 9 days. Broke down out here. Then this one here in Gallup, that was in a new truck that the ELD decided it wanted to, not the ELD, but the codes in the computer, the truck's main engine computer, transmission computer, they went all haywire. So that was like 4 days. That was a week, almost. It was ridiculous, The air conditioner always going bad during the middle of summer, so constantly getting hotels for that, just so I could be able to sleep. And it wasn't. I mean, it was okay. I mean, what I was doing when things finally got straightened out. The truck was running okay for the most part. The work I was doing was good. The company was good, but the truck itself sucked, I couldn't do it anymore. Then the company I went to after that, just, I couldn't do that one either. So I came back to Valley. And I was happy before, grass is greener type mentality, and it didn't work, Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I came back to Valley, and I've been happy since. I don't have truck issues. I'm not having problems with anything really. Things are smoothed out. I'm progressing in my career. So we're good. All right, we are passing through Gallup, New Mexico now. We're going to stop up here at the up here in Jamestown in about 19 miles. We're going to make our way from there to the Pilot on Avalon, there on the west side of Albuquerque. I'm going to top up my fuel and my DEF there. Give me a cup of ice. Then I'm going to proceed to the Four Rivers there in Albuquerque, make my first delivery. So let's see, that'll be, well, I got 3 hours and 53 minutes on my clock right now before I have to take a break. So, 3.5 hours. And let's see here, what's it say? Then it's about an hour and 40 minutes to the Flying J there in Albuquerque, so that leaves a little over an hour, roughly. So then I'll get to the pilot. Then I'll get to my delivery, which is only like 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. So we'll get there. While I'm there, I'll do my 30-minute break there. Or I just might come down to the TA real quick and just do my 30-minute break there. Get off there a lot, not really mess around a whole lot. And then we have, like I said, we're not going to come back out I-40, to come back out this way and then up to Farmington. I really don't want to do that. That's more miles. We're going to go up I-25 a little bit to US 550 and angle up that way. That'll knock off about 20 or so miles up to Farmington for our second delivery. I mean, right now it says 218 for the miles. We're going to cut that back to about 180 at the most. We could possibly make it up there today. We wouldn't unload. We wouldn't get offloaded, but we could, at least be there for first thing in the morning. And then it's another 325 miles to Pueblo West, there in Colorado. And then it's another 328 miles to McCook, Nebraska, which is in southern Nebraska. Not too far away from Cheyenne. And again, well, that's a smart move. Just cut the truck right off. Don't worry about safety or anything. But like I say, if I can make it all the way up to Farmington, now I basically was parked right out front. We're on the side street. And parked there for the night. I think there's a Maverick right there in front, if I remember right. I might be able to park there, maybe. Oh, perfect. Either way, we'll find a place to park. If I got to park further down on US 550, like near Dolce, I mean, we'll do that. But if I can reduce that distance by at least half, then, like I said, I can make my delivery in Farmington in the morning. I can make my delivery in Pueblo West very easily. Then I can get out I-70. I might be able to make it just inside Kansas. What town is that? What name that town is? Memory. Goodland, that's what it is. There's like there's like a couple of mom and pops, a Cinex and a, something like that there, right there at I-70 and whatever that road is right there in Goodland. I'll probably get there and park, and then in the morning, the next day on Friday, make my delivery there in McCook, Nebraska. And fingers crossed, I'll be able to have another load by then. So that I can get loaded for the weekend. And hopefully it's like a 1,000-mile run, something like that, and get that on this next paycheck, which would be a great benefit. I hear. But, we're just going to mosey on down the road as best we can. Ready. So last night's dinner was 2 cold sausages, a little bit of mustard. I had a chicken sandwich with 2 patties on it, 2 fillets on it. That's pretty much the what I had most all day yesterday for eating. So today we're sitting at about, what are we sitting at now? Maybe like 14 hours, 15-hour fast so far. I'm not going to get anything else to eat until, after I make my delivery here at the earliest. I'm not going to have anything till about 2:30, 3 o'clock. If I can make it a full day, that'll be about it. Get some what you need. Basically, sodium, potassium, magnesium, or manganese. Something with an M. I think it's magnesium. Those are the 3 top minerals you need. So I have a few grains of that. Nice big, chunky, coarse grains of that. We'll have that. I have a bit of beef in the refrigerator. I'm going to take that. I was going to make some beef bourguignon yesterday, but didn't quite get to that. I got stopped later than I wanted. So I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna cube it up a little bit and pan fried so it gets a nice golden crust on it. Nice dark crust on it. A little bit of potato, a little bit of carrot, onion, potato, a bit of red wine, a little bit of Pinot Noir, some thyme, garlic, some beef stock, make a little bit of a roux, make a nice, thick, beef bourguignon stew. I should be done early enough today where that should not be an issue. Like I said, I'm going to hold off on having anything until, later in the day. But I still want to be done eating by 6 p.m. at the latest. 6 p.m. I should be finished eating, have washed all the dishes in the cookware, put everything away, clean everything up, have 3.5 4 hours before I go to bed, so I'm not, not too worried about, digestion and anything else like that. Oh, now you're going to speed up. Why weren't you doing the speed limit you're supposed to? Oh, Lord. But, like I say, we're part of my latest diet, active diet, not just maintaining myself, but actually being healthier, losing some weight, getting the gut away. I've changed a little bit about what I eat and how I eat and when I eat. So we're going with a more strict ketogenic, more a carnivore-centric diet. And we're only doing one meal a day for the most part. I'm not going to beat myself up if I have something in the morning or during the middle of the day. Let's see, I had 2 breaded chicken breast and a bun, at about 11 a.m. yesterday. Oh, I did have 4 hard-boiled eggs and some salt. I had that yesterday as well. And I had 2 Polish sausages with a little bit of mustard. That was all the food I had yesterday. Today, like I said, I'm not going to be getting anything. I'm not going to make anything until I have my one meal. And it's going to be a bigger meal. Well, not so much a bigger meal, but it's going to be, like I said, around 13 ounces of beef. About 6 ounces, 7 ounces of russet potato. About 2 ounces, 3 ounces of carrot, 3 or 4 ounces of onion, some beef stock, garlic, thyme, the herb, and some Pinot Noir wine. Pressure cook that in the and some mushrooms. Yeah. Got a few mushrooms I'm going to put in there. So I put it in the pressure cooker in the Instant Pot. And, get that all nice and tender and all mixed together. And that'll be my dinner. And then we'll do the same thing tomorrow. We'll do a 20-hour, 23-hour fast for tomorrow. We'll just continue that until we, get down to, the proper pant size and the proper, look for a man. So there we go. Plus, just feel healthier, be healthier, look healthier. All that jazz.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
All right. So off to the left there, you see the refinery. And then the Flying J is right there, a little bit closer to the highway. Like I said, we're going to pop in here. We're going to check our load. Make sure our chains and binders and straps are tight. Nothing's falling off. Nothing's breaking. Everything is where it needs to be.
In a quarter mile, take exit 39 on the right, onto Giant Crossing toward Refinery.
And then, like I said, we'll head off
The
to
first exit on the
Albuquerque.
right, onto Giant Crossing. Turn at the first left onto Giant Crossing.
Now that we're under 20 miles an hour, now first time we're going to touch our brakes. Turn our J brake off while we're trying to accelerate from stop. We're in 5th gear. Seventh, 9th, then up into 11th, 12, passing 20 miles an hour. Like I said, we're not fueling up here. We're just stopping to check our load. That's all we're doing. And I, whenever possible, like 99% of the time, I will not do that
In a quarter
on
mile,
the ramp.
your destination is on the right.
Doing that on the ramp is dangerous, and from my perspective, inconsiderate. Just plain old rude. Other people need to use the ramp. It's not made for that. It's if you need to pull off in an emergency, yeah, you do it because it's an emergency. But if you're just checking your load, and then like I said, the truck stopped right here. Why stop there, blocking people, and making it more difficult for them to go elsewhere? It says truck exit there, knucklehead.
Your destination is on the
Wow.
right.
See, it's that kind of stupidity right there. It says truck exit there. Here it says truck entrance. Oh, maybe we should, I don't know, do that. But no, people want to be lazy and stupid, so they do lazy and stupid things. Ah. Not difficult. That's not a parking spot there, buddy. Little yellow lines tell you where the parking spot is. And it's easy. It really is. So 113 miles to the Flying J. They're on Avalon Drive on the west side of Albuquerque. That's where we're going to stop and top up our fuel. All right, where's my book at? There's my book. All right. Put this in inspection mode. Inspection, yes. Okay, it is 10:11 a.m. Mountain Time. Load check. The Flying J number 305. Jamestown, New Mexico, I-40, exit 39, 325843. For the miles, we've done 280.6 miles today. Let's go for a little walk here. All right. here's our load. We're taking this mess from Merced, California to McCook, Nebraska. That's we'll talk about that. So we got this 35G, which we had to wait for till yesterday to pick up. Little excavator. That's going to Farmington, New Mexico. So we got to take that one off, move this one off, because this one's going to Albuquerque first. So take that off, put it back on. This one here is going up, the little 26G. That's going up to Pueblo West here in Colorado. We got chains. See how that's all done like that. So that's what we got. So all we do is we go along, we just test them, make sure they're nice and tight, they're not loose. Make sure nothing's falling off, nothing's breaking. Mud flaps are flappy, tires are round, and everything is not going to fall off the truck, because for some reason they all want their stuff. Same here. Everything Duke's doing is about as good as it can be. All right. Quick and easy process. All right, so we got that done. So 113 miles down the old road. Oh, lordy, okay. So it's approximately an hour and 38 minutes over to Albuquerque to top up our fuel, top up our DEF. About another 10 minutes after that, 15 minutes after that, we will make our first delivery. Like I said, we shuffle those, shuffle that first excavator, get it out of the way, then get it back on the truck. And then, as like I said, GPS wants me to do, because US 550 is a truck route. It may not be as fast, but it is shorter, and I'd rather take that way. They come back out here, come back out this direction, then go north, and go north on I-25, and then on the 550 and north by northwest. Take that on up to Farmington. Then, of course, out that way towards Colorado, and then eventually Nebraska.
Turn at the first left onto I-40.
See this right here? This is what I'm talking about. The guys parking on a ramp is, well, there's no place to park. That's a lie. There's plenty of places to park. I never have a problem finding a place to park. First, I try to start as early in the day as I can. Secondly, I stop early enough in the day in the afternoon so that I get a parking spot. And if I can't get a free parking spot, I pay for one. Simple, it's not a hard concept. But too many guys, if they're not getting it free, they're going to pitch a fit. Oh, they're ripping us off. They're doing this. They're out to get us. No, it's just your fact. The fact is, you're an idiot. That's your problem. You know, ask, you know, ask your receiver, ask your shipper, is it okay if I park there overnight? And granted, I go out in the country a lot, you know, farming locations, you know, dealers out in the farming country where they don't have fences, and you know, it's out in a little small town in the middle of nowhere. 99% of the time, I have no problem parking. All I do is I ask. You know, hey, I won't be able to get anywhere but except for a Walmart. Is it okay if I pull up their phone number? I give them a call, I speak to a manager. Hey, I'm a truck driver. Is it okay if I park there overnight? If they say no, I say thank you very much. I appreciate your assistance, and I go find somewhere else. If they say yes, I ask them, where do you want me to park so that I'm out of the way? And they will tell me, oh, park in the front area up near the Dairy Queen, or you know, park around the back side, park on the south side, park on the east side. You know, it's not a hard thing to do. You know, when I know I'm going to get in late to a truck stop, when I know I'm going to get in late, or I've been to that particular truck stop and up and down that particular road enough times to know when that location fills up, I reserve a spot. I mean, like there in California, I didn't want to. I could not park. I could not, you know, get this last piece loaded in Rialto, California, and have a safe place to park that was also legal to park, except for the new Pilot they have right there in Rialto. So, you know, I knew I wasn't going to get in till well after 5 o'clock. I've never been to that Pilot because it's brand new. I went ahead and reserved a spot. You know, it doesn't take much. It really doesn't. But instead of crying about it, woe is me, they're out to get me nonsense. They're ripping us off nonsense. Which I don't understand how they think they're getting ripped off. But we have to pay for parking. Yeah, great. Got a nice little backup here. Yeah, I'm straddling. I'm running the zipper here because it's backing up, and I want all lanes of traffic to slow down. Now that's safer to do, you know, than letting people just race right up. I mean, it goes down to one lane. You know, a little traffic control helps everybody. Because unfortunately, those big orange signs don't exactly do it. You know, right lane closed ahead, right lane closed ahead. There's at least 4 signs, minimum. Then there's the arrow board up here, which you can see all the way back at the crest of the hill. But you know, people still wait till the absolute last minute to get over because, heaven forbid, they have to wait for somebody else. And when they do that, people slam on their brakes. That causes other people to slam on their brakes. Then it backs up and comes to a stop like it did. Just like it did, because people do not merge early. They don't slow down. I mean, it slowed it down to 65 miles an hour. Slow down to 55, but everybody was still doing 70 till the last minute. That's why traffic backs up, because people don't use their little pea brains and think. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I have a 2-mile rule. whenever possible, I'm in the lane I need to be in 2 miles ahead. Now, I knew there was construction up ahead, but whether I was only on the shoulder or occupying the lane, I didn't know. When I saw the sign saying right lane was closed, I got over. And now that, because I was running the zipper a little bit there, blocking both lanes, right after you came over the crest of the hill, all the traffic behind me is not bunching up anymore. It's moving nice and smoothly. Closer to the speed limit of 55 miles an hour. We came to a halt because people want to be first. I'm important. I got to go first. To hell with you, to hell with safety, to hell with the rules. I'm going to get in front of you. Now, here we're back up to 45 miles an hour. We should have never been below 45 miles an hour. But inconsiderate, rude, unsafe drivers want to do whatever they want and to heck with everybody else. Part of operating in a society is acting in a civil, decent, courteous manner. You're not losing anything by letting someone go ahead of you in traffic or slowing down a little bit. But unfortunately, too many of these people think that they're somehow suffering some kind of insult. I don't get it. I really don't. Look at that. 53 miles an hour now. I mean, I could have been up at that bridge if everybody would have just done what they were supposed to and merged properly. I mean, and now everybody can get up to speed. Lord. Being a truck driver, that's all you do is complain about traffic. I'm no different. I complain about traffic too. Especially when they're that stupid. A normal rush hour, I understand. A normal slowdown, they slowed the speed down really, really excessively. I understand that. An accident happens. I understand that. That's fine. But something so simple as merging and slowing down a little bit, that should not happen, really. Continental Divide. So at this point up here, the water that falls on the west side will go out into the Atlantic, or to the Pacific. And everything, all the water that falls on the east side will go into the Gulf of Mexico and or the Atlantic, depending how far east you are. Up into the Great Lakes and out the St. Lawrence Seaway, into the Chesapeake, into the Chattahoochee, out towards Cape Fear, down through the Florida Keys, down through the Everglades, out to the Florida Keys, into the Gulf of Mexico, through the Rio Grande, the Mississippi River. That's basically where we are at the moment. Alright, so just about an hour and a half, like I said, we'll get to our fuel stop. We have 3 hours and 21 minutes before we have to take a break. So we're not gonna stop and waste our time. We'll waste time later on. Not right now. Get around nice and easy and smoothly. I wish I had a nice bit of French bread to put with my stew tonight, but I think the potatoes and the carrots will be enough carbohydrates to make up for it. My wife made a nice dinner last night. She had some broccoli, some honey sausages, and a thing of mashed potatoes, which looked pretty good to me. I mean, I wish I had some of that.
Wind warning ahead.
I had Polish sausages last night. Not quite the same thing, but it still was good. I have one Polish sausage left until I get back into Minnesota, Iowa, or Wisconsin, where I can pick some of that up again. We're gonna make do with what we got. I'm not going to the grocery store except for a few very, very choice things. One, some better than bullion, some demi-glace. Two, some bacon and some breakfast sausage. Because the breakfast sausage I got there in Arkansas, not good at all. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's like, it has virtually no flavor, virtually no actual meat. It's more just plain fat. I mean, it's a brand I've never tried before. It's more of a local, regional type brand. So it's like, I didn't know, so. It didn't even brown. That's how little actual meat was in it. It didn't even brown. Just puts out lots of fat, which is great to cook my potatoes and eggs in, but I mean, I can take Jimmy Dean. I can take the Bob Evans. I can do the Walmart Great Value brand. I can do, but my absolute favorite is Tennessee Pride. Odom's Tennessee Pride. That's my favorite breakfast sausage. I pick some of that up. I do that. Pick up a few. I still have 6 chicken thighs. I have 2 pounds of ground beef. I still have 3 pieces of chuck roast, each about 13 ounces. I would like to pick up some bacon. I need to pick up some more eggs. I'll pick up a little bit of cheese. I have a few onions left, but I need to really eat those. Oh, pardon me. pick up some more disinfectant wipes, you know, for my kitchen cleanup and just general cleanliness. Made some tissues. Now, there's very little that I actually need, especially food-wise, when it comes to the diet that I'm currently employing. Like I said, it's more carnivore. It's more just a meat-based, diet. I'm not going to cut out all carbohydrates. If I want it, I'm going to eat it. But I have enough rice. I have enough Japanese rice. I have enough jasmine rice. I have enough macaroni, elbows. I have enough farfalle. I have enough, spaghetti. If I want some of that, I'll have some of that. But if I want some potatoes, I'll have some potatoes. I'm not going to deny myself just to go a little bit faster. Cutting out the bread, cutting out the pasta, cutting out the rice, more than I normally do. Take the Pepsi down, very, very low. So I've been on this diet for this specific diet, not just maintaining my weight and my health, but improving it. So this is day number 19 for that. On day 17, now I was putting my pants on and they were falling down past my hips, which is a good thing. I'm wearing a size 34 pants right now. I want to bring that back to a size 32. I want to lose all this weight around my midsection. And I'm not so obese that it's like, oh my God, look at that fat slob. But it's like, I don't want it there anymore. I'm going to get rid of it. So a simple change to the diet helps that. I'm not going to go so hardcore with it that I'm going to suffer any kind of metabolic or digestive issues. I'm not going to go into what they are. Just look up carnivore digestive issues. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into it right now because whatever. But I am going to enjoy the meals I make. And like I said, I'm not buying food at McDonald's and Burger King and the truck stop and elsewhere. 90% of the time I'm going to cook in the truck. The more I cook in the truck, the better off I am. I mean, yesterday, like I said, I had 2 breaded, chicken breasts on a hamburger bun. The hamburger bun was the worst part of that. The breading was a little bit of an issue, but not too bad. I had 4 hard-boiled eggs and some salt. Around 3 p.m. Around 7 o'clock-ish, I had 2 Polish sausages with a little bit of brown mustard. No buns, no bread, no no French fries or anything like that. So I had approximately 50% fat, about a little over 30% protein, and less than 20% carbohydrates. Which for just being ketogenic, that's good. But I want to reduce those carbohydrates down to under 5%. That'll be better. So today I should be around 8% today with the potato and the carrot. But other than that, it should be okay. But that's the advantage of buying my stuff in its pure raw form and then cooking it myself. First of all, I make exactly what I want. I know what's in it. I know how much of that's in it. And it's to my taste. So everything about it is better. All right, we got 90 miles to our stop in Albuquerque. Yeah, the stupid sign showing a picture of hamburgers and ice cream. Oh, Lord. Well, I think the next time I do have something at a restaurant, I think when I get back up here, hopefully more to the Midwest, upper Midwest. I said Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa. In that kind of area. I want to get to a Culver's. I'll give me a double cheeseburger there, and not get the French fries. Get the onion rings. Just get water, not a Coke. And if I'm feeling really bad and really luxurious, I might get an ice cream. Or a milkshake. If you're going to ruin a diet, might as well ruin it that way. That ain't going to be too bad, but that's if I do it. I may get there and say, I do want it, but I don't want it bad enough. But I do want to get back in that area so I can get to a Quick Star or a Quick Trip. So I get some more of my Polish sausages. That'd be nice. That would be really, really enjoyable. Because those Polish sausages, I tell you, they're absolutely fantastic. Two other things a little bit hard. One, my Polak Johnny's Polish sausages from Baltimore. I can get those. Two, some decent crab cakes from G&M Lounge. They're in Baltimore as well. Real Baltimore crab cakes, not the fake stuff you get like in Florida or any other coastal town. No, a real crab cake where it's done properly. But that's expensive. That's a costly thing. But man, they're so good. The two things I cannot get is going to be a snowball which is like a snow cone, but like 1,000 times better. And two, the second thing I just can't get, unless I'm in Maryland, a little bit of Pennsylvania, a little bit of Delaware, is my Royal Farms fried chicken. And I have to wait till I get back to be able to get that. things that I really would want, I can get. They're a bit on the expensive side, but I can't get them shipped anywhere I need them to. The other two things, I have to actually be in the area of Maryland to get. I mean, I can get a pizza anywhere. And the one pizza I do want most of all is the one that I make myself. I can do that in the truck. That just takes time. The second one, I need to be back in Georgia to get. Like I said, as far as a really good burger, I gotta wait till I get to a Culver's and get a really good burger. But we will just make do. I think tonight I'll take out some. I would take 4 chicken thighs. I'll take 4 chicken thighs, and I'm going to thaw them out. I'm gonna make some barbecue chicken with those. Of course, the barbecue sauce I'm using Jim Beam Smoky Barrel, which is my new favorite. When I tried that barbecue sauce, that became my favorite barbecue sauce. Sorry, Jack Daniels number 7, but that became my favorite barbecue sauce. I'm going to use that, make some barbecue chicken, maybe a little bit of mashed potatoes, and maybe some corn on the cob if I can find a couple. That would be, and maybe a side of beans. That would be a good dinner. That'd be a really enjoyable dinner for me. And then the two other, the 2 remaining, chicken thighs that I have, I think I'll soak those in some garlic, black pepper, and soy sauce, or teriyaki sauce. And I'll make some teriyaki chicken with that. I might do that on Sunday. Saturday, the barbecue chicken, Sunday, teriyaki chicken. Tonight, like I said, beef bourguignon. Tomorrow, I think I'll do a beef on rice type affair. So I'll have some lightly sauteed onions. I'll fry up some egg. I'll scramble some eggs. A bit of seaweed. Might pick up a bag of peas, make some peas for that. Put that on top of rice, some hamburger, a bit of soy sauce on top of everything. I might do that. All the fat that comes off the hamburger, I'm just going to put it right on top of the rice, and don't waste any of that good, delicious fat. In pretty much the next 4 days, I got things kind of planned out. That still leaves at least a minimum of another week of meals. Well, yeah, another week of meals, another 5 to 7 days of meals available. just with the meats alone. Well, like I said, hopefully after I deliver here in Nebraska, I'm running up Wisconsin way, if I can. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa. Pick up the Clements. Polish sausage, my second favorite Polish sausage. We'll go from there, I guess. We're not going to cry about it if we don't, but it'd be a lot nicer if we do. Excuse me. The only issue that I've had so far on this little more carnivore diet, I do miss having the vegetables. When if I make if I make some chicken, I may want a chicken soup, or I may want, a chicken sandwich. I may want some French fries with it. I may want to make a chicken curry. I may want to roast a chicken, have a baked potato or mashed potatoes. That is a little bit tougher, but you gotta roll with the punches, as they say. Because I would like to, not have to worry about how my shirts and pants fit. Well, that's a problem with a lot of truck drivers. They get they have that midsection, that gut, and it makes it hard for them to sit, in the driver's seat without being uncomfortable, without having to undo their belts. And far too many of them, they eat 3 meals a day, they snack all day, coffee, sodas, sugary sports drinks, juices. They don't get enough exercise. They don't cook their own meals. Eating out, having carbohydrates in every meal. And I don't mind a good cheeseburger once in a while. I love a good stack of pancakes. But at the same time, I can easily do without that stuff. All right, Milan or Milan, however they want to pronounce it. I know the one there in Illinois is right next to the airport. They call it Milan. I call it Milan. If they call it Milan, whatever. Lickety split expediting. There you go. So he's got a shorter well on his RGN. Plus he's got a flip axle. So I got a longer well on my truck, on my trailer, but I only have 2 axles. I've stayed at the the Loves here. I've stayed at the Petro. They're just truck stops. They ain't nothing special. I mean, if you gave me a choice, I stay at the Loves before I stay at the Petro again. But the Petro always has more space. The Petro's about twice the size that the Loves is. And look at that. Talk to me with that sign right there. Mashed potatoes, biscuits, chicken. Taunting me. Alrighty, we got just about an hour to our stop here in Albuquerque where we're going to fill up the truck. So we're going to get there just about noon. Get over to our delivery about 12:30, 12:45 in that frame. I'll probably leave there about a quarter after or so after 1. I should have plenty of time. I mean, I have, let's see. So I'll have an hour and 50 minutes when I get to my fuel stop. I'll have basically an hour and a half. Let's figure low, an hour and a half. You know, when I'm at my delivery, my first delivery here in Albuquerque, I'll gain 3 hours after I do my little 30-minute break. So that'll be 4.5 hours. It doesn't take 4.5 hours to get up to Farmington. I possibly could deliver that second excavator up in Farmington by the end of the day, because I think they close at 5. I'll have to look at the what Google says on there, what they're close at. But I think they close at 5 at that Four Rivers up there. There's a little speedway or whatever it is right up the road. I can park there because I parked there overnight before. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. If I get to Farmington tonight, and I can be done by, like I said, if I'm done by 5 p.m., I can get up at 3:30 and hit the road at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I will be in Pueblo West before 10 a.m. And I think I can get to McCook I might be able to get into McCook and my receiver after they close, but I would be there first thing in the morning Friday. You know, 7:30, 8 a.m., whenever they open. I would be on site, my trailer already broken apart, ready to roll that excavator right off. Or no, because the excavator would already be off. No, all I do is wait for them to get a forklift, lift that pallet off, and gone. You know, I'd be out of there. So, you know, if I know I'm going to make McCook, Nebraska, you know, by the evening, I'll tell my manager I'm going to be there, you know, that night, and I need a load first thing in the morning because I'm going to be there on site before she even gets in the office on Friday. So that'll work. I mean, it's not dropping off Thursday afternoon, but that's about as best as I can do. All I got to do is maximize today and maximize tomorrow for my time on the road, the miles I do, go as quickly as I can to get things offloaded. And like I said, I can still be there Friday a.m. So I think that'll be, we can make up for a little bit of loss that way. Mackerel. All right. Okay, Sky City. I would like to walk on that bridge there at Sky City. Get that view there, but as far as staying in the hotel, casino, not that interesting. About to pass before he moved over, but well, it is what it is. So today, at a bare minimum, we're going to get to Albuquerque, make our delivery. We're going to at least get partway up to Farmington. I don't see why I can't get to Farmington today. And I think I can get to Farmington, make my delivery there, sleep there, or real close. Then, like I said, Pueblo West, deliver that third excavator there before 10 o'clock-ish, or around 10 o'clock, 10 or 11. Then it's another 320-something miles to McCook, Nebraska. I could possibly get there by the end of the day. I mean, it'll be really tight. I mean, my last 20 minutes, I may only have 20 minutes to spare of drive time, but I think I can do that. Because the sooner I can get another load on the truck that I can deliver by Monday or so, that'll put a good, like I said, almost 6,000 miles on the book on that to this paycheck, which I'm not going to complain about one little bit. figure it out. Figure it out. Mile marker 91. Eastbound I-40 here in New Mexico. Got some four-wheelers coming up behind me, so we're going to get out of their way. There we go. All right. So not too bad of a day. I had to turn the heat on a little bit this morning. Down the low 50s coming through the mountains here south of Flagstaff. Truck temperature staying around 88. So not too bad. I mean, it was up. I mean, I had up to 107, 106 yesterday. That was when I stopped there in Buckeye, Arizona. Popped into the Love's real quick, grabbed me a cup of ice, grabbed me a couple of hard-boiled eggs, 4 hard-boiled eggs. Yeah, it's a little bit warmer than I want it to be, but me and my wife like winter a heck of a lot more than we like summer. My ideal summer is 20% humidity, maximum, about 85 degrees for about 4 days. And then everything else, 75 degrees for the rest of summer, all of spring, all of fall, and then winter time, about half a winter in the low 40s, and then the other half a little bit below 32. So enough so it snows, but not so cold that you worry about your nose falling off because you're going to get frostbite in 20 seconds. I mean, I've had too many experiences of negative 35, negative 40, negative 50 with a 30-mile-an-hour wind outside, putting on a tarp, throwing straps, securing a load. I've had too many days of that already. I don't want to be doing that. I don't mind 30 degrees, 20 degrees. I don't mind that. I can work in that very easily. But when you get below zero with a wind chill, a 20-mile-an-hour wind on negative 20, it's not fun. Inside the truck, run the heater, the APU's running, the heater's running, or if it's really, really cold, the truck's running. In 2019, the polar vortex, and I was in Chicago, sitting at a shipper because, of course, EMJ, oh, your load will be ready at 6 p.m. It's never ready at 6 p.m. It's always ready the next day. So I sat there overnight, 20, 30, 40-mile-an-hour winds with negative 58 on the thermometer. Not exactly what you call comfortable. But we prefer wintertime over summertime. You know, I don't mind a little bit of warm weather, but when it's 100, when it's triple digits, no thank you. I'm not a fan. Especially like Florida. 95, 100 degrees, plus like 85, 90% humidity. No, I'm not I don't like that. Like I said, right now, 88 degrees, that's not too bad. I can work in that all day if I need to. You start getting up in the 90s, that's when you start having to take breaks, you know, from the heat. I mean, I had a heat exhaustion when I was a kid, you know, when I was a young kid. You know, it may be 40 plus years later, but I'm not going to do that to myself again. I always have plenty of ice water. I have I'm a big fan of these Powerade Zero sports drinks. No sugar in them, no calories. They help put some electrolytes back in the body. So I like those. Yeah, so that's another big reason why I'm not going to live in We're not going to live in Arizona. We're not going to live in New Mexico, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, any of the southern tier states. We're not living in any of those states. We're living in northwest Montana. Where we get real winters. The summers ain't blistering hot. We're in some mountains with some trees and water and grass and greenery. When it does get hot, it doesn't last forever. Well, looking at those clouds, I don't think we're going to get any kind of real weather, any kind of rain. And hopefully it just cools things off a little bit. That'd be nice. But I don't think we're going to get any rain out of that. I haven't looked at the radar, so I really can't say. But whatever. Alright, so we got 11:15 just about on the old clock. So I'm going to say thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. This will be a rant and rave and blither on like I always do. So I'm going to say have a good day. Stay safe. God bless. We'll talk to you later.